The story of Joseph Paul Franklin is a grim journey into the depths of hate-fueled violence. Born James Clayton Vaughn Jr. in Alabama, Franklin was not always a killer. He was a product of a troubled childhood and a mind warped by white supremacist ideology. As he grew, his hatred festered, turning him into a transient loner who drifted across the United States, armed with a rifle and a deadly mission. His reign of terror began in the late 1970s. For Franklin, the world was a battlefield, and his targets were those he considered racially inferior. His victims were primarily black individuals, Jewish people, and especially interracial couples. Franklin's method was chillingly consistent. He would stalk his victims and then shoot them from a distance with a high-powered rifle, vanishing into the night. He struck without warning, often in broad daylight, leaving a trail of death and confusion. In 1977, he targeted an interracial couple in Wisconsin, killing the man and injuring the woman. The same year, he fatally shot 2 black teenagers. Franklin saw these acts not as murder, but as a crusade to cleanse what he perceived as a corrupt society. His most famous victims, however, survived. In 1978, he ambushed and shot Larry Flynt, the controversial publisher of Hustler magazine, in Georgia. Flynt was targeted for publishing an interracial photo shoot. The attack left Flynt paralyzed from the waist down. 2 years later, Franklin shot and seriously wounded civil rights leader Vernon Jordan in Indiana, targeting him for his work promoting racial equality. Franklin's crimes spanned over a dozen states, baffling law enforcement agencies who initially failed to connect the seemingly random acts of violence. He changed his name, his appearance, and his location, staying one step ahead of a nationwide manhunt. The search finally ended in 1980 when he was arrested in Florida. The capture brought an end to his reign of terror, but the full scope of his crimes was only just beginning to be uncovered. After his capture, Franklin confessed to a staggering number of crimes, including at least 15 murders. He was tried, convicted, and sentenced to multiple life sentences and eventually the death penalty. In 2013, over 30 years after his final crime, Joseph Paul Franklin was executed, bringing a final grim close to the story of one of America's most hate-filled killers. Like and subscribe for more.